everybody and welcome to a new series on Factorio. So, yeah, it's been a while. What in the world is going on with... That's a very interesting design and wouldn't thought of doing that. But it's been a while and I plan to do a new world. And the reason why is because it's been a while and Factorio is one of those games where you have a lot of compounding knowledge. And so I thought probably would be best to make a new world rather than using an old one. Now I'm gonna go set up the mods and they're gonna be very basic. It's just gonna be this stuff. Alright, well, let's get straight into making a world. Oops, I didn't know you could do that. That's interesting. So, technically this is kind of spoilers, but I don't really care because I would rather have a better experience. Now, do I go with Death World? I've never actually done a Death World before. It looks a little bit interesting. We could do a Rail World, although no, nah, I want enemy expansion. Yeah, we'll just go with the default settings. I don't think I'll change anything, and all I'm gonna do is just try and get a good spawn with decent resources. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Did a little bit of mixing there, but that's fine. We've got some oil nearby, uraniums. And the only thing I would like to do is do starting area moisture. Yeah, just so it's a little bit greener near where we spawn in, because that's always nice and it looks nice. And then we'll also make it a little bit easier pollution-wise. There are some pretty big cliffs, though. The cliffs are a lot better in the 2.0 update, which is good. And yeah, we'll get right into it. We're gonna grab our ammo. And just gonna clean up the wreck. I know some people like to keep the wreck, but personally I like to get rid of it. Maybe I can keep it. Oh, I should change my color. I know you can use the... You could do color / color. Is it color American or British? It's... Okay. And then you could do purple. If I could spell... Yeah. I prefer the usual setup I go with, which is all blue, and then like 120 on the red. There you go. It's kind of bluish purple. It's very dark purple. Yeah, I guess I can leave that there. Wait, you could have higher quality spaceships? What? That seems unusual. Why can you have... We must get the legendary spaceship. Should be the final thing in the game. Get a legendary spaceship and try and fly it or something. I don't know. I guess you can't beat Factorio really, but yeah, I don't actually know how you beat it in Space Age. I think it's if you go to... I don't know if we can look at the... No, we can't. I think it's if you go to one of the planets. Anyway, let's start off with the classic burner city. We want to get these rocks because they have coal in them, and that will make this a lot faster, as well as stone too, which is great because I can get furnaces quickly. Oh, I would have liked even distribution. That would have been good. So the mods that I've got is factory planner, because I can't be bothered doing math. Although the math is a lot easier because they actually give you the result of the they actually show you the in-out speed, but I just like Factory Planner. It's a lot quite convenient. I don't remember the keybind for it, but I can just Factory Planner, where is it? Okay, I guess we are going to be doing the maths for this episode, because I forgot to add Factory Planner. Anyway, but yeah, then all you need to do is just run a bunch of coal in there, easily can get some iron, and then you can craft some furnaces, and you can speed through the burner stage. Oh yeah, of course. And hopefully we can get through this quite quickly, and then we can work on getting some much better technologies. We can already get a burner mining drill. I think iron production will probably be better for now, because we have quite a bit of coal. And then we can work on getting some stuff for the coal pocket. That's just stone. We want to look at the big rocks, so we can get the coal, because that makes it a lot quicker. Like I said, hopefully we can just breeze through the burner stage of Factorio. We shouldn't have to worry about biters for a while. They're going to be a little ways away. And yeah, we can just work on getting all of the mining drills necessary. This is convenient because we can just run the coal up very easily. Yeah, but this is why I would have liked even distribution. But I don't plan to play with many mods because I mostly want to do a vanilla thing. But fortunately, you can see that says 0.31 per second. So if you want to do the math, you just look at this conveyor belt here. And you can see that it says belt speed 15 a second. And you can hover over this and it says 0.31 per second. And so all you need to do is just divide your belt speed, which is 15 per second, by your furnaces crafting rate, which is 0.31 per second. And that gets you a number of 48.387, or 48 furnaces when rounding. So if you want to get a full belt, you need 48 stone furnaces. And there we go. We have a bunch of iron now, so we can look into getting all kinds of technologies. I want to get a maul very quick too, because a maul is very nice, and I have learnt that through lots of experience in Factorio that mauls are very good. Mauls are very, very good. And I think this will be all the iron furnaces we will need. I don't think we'll need any more. It'll just be a waste of iron to make all of these burner mining drills, and oops. Because once we get out of the burner stage, we will never need these again. Like, ever. I don't think there will ever be a real practical purpose to having burner mining drills past the very early stage of the game. So we can look at getting some power now. However, we do need copper, so we can get to work on that. Copper is pretty easy. You don't need much of it during the beginnings of the game. You only really need it with power poles and pumps, and that's about it, compared to everything else which needs iron. But later down the line, we will need a lot of copper for all kinds of circuits. For now, just two furnaces is probably enough. And we can get a offshore pump. Oh, offshore pumps don't need copper anymore. Neat. Wait, what do you need copper? You don't need copper for anything anymore. Yeah, copper is like completely pointless at the start of the game. That's interesting. There we go. We've got electronics. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I think you have to smelt copper to get that. Does that give us power poles? Yes, it does. So we can get into doing that. Yeah. We need to craft a lab to get red science, I mean. I don't know. I kind of like these little features, these little things, but I also kind of don't, because I feel like it. Usually, I like to steam ahead with my research, so I like to jump ahead really far forward, get, all the way down to, like, all of the science that I can, research-wise, and then I start doing it. Like oil processing, for example, I tend to do that, where I just unlock everything down the oil processing line, and then that way I can get really quickly into it, where with this, you have to actually mine the oil before you can actually start researching all the later technologies. It's one of the many things, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, but I think I was kind of thinking the quality, and I was thinking about how quality is, and I think they've implemented it well. I feel like it could have been one of those things that could have been implemented poorly, but I think the Factorio devs, as with a lot of things, implemented it very well. How are we doing pollution-wise? Yeah, we're fine. I think, yeah, they definitely could have gone into, like a poor route with that, but I think that the way that they've executed it, now that I've, like, played around with it, quality is one of those things that you have to do a lot of researching, so it's very much locked till late game. Yeah, and on top of the fact that it's really late in the game, like, you have to, if you want to get all the legendary stuff, it's also very rare. So you have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of resources just to get, like, 1 or 2 legendary tier assemblers. Now, I want to talk about the blueprint situation. That's not the blueprints. This is my blueprints. I've made quite a lot of blueprints. I plan to use none of these except for trains. Because I don't feel like doing all my train blueprints. So, this trains vanilla thing is pretty much the only book that I'm going to use from here. that and maybe the balances, but I'm not going to use any of these like little quick setups like the miners and the red circuits and the blue circuits, because I want to make all of that myself. In this world, I will be using blueprints. And don't get me wrong, I will be using blueprints, but I'm going to kind of keep them. I'm going to kind of keep to the game blueprints. In fact, to kind of enforce that, I'm going to put the blueprints that I plan to use, which is just, I don't have many balances. I probably should get some more balances, and also this isn't a true balancer, and I know it, but whatever. Anyway, these are the game blueprints yet. These are the only blueprints I'm going to need. From now on in the series, I am not going to touch the My Blueprints folder. And because I want to design everything in this series, for however long it goes for. Because, yeah, I think that just, it'll be a better experience if we can actually design it rather than, hey, look, I pasted down another red circuits blueprint. The bots built it. Yay. I mean, there will definitely be a point in the game where we have that. Once we get a bot base and we start, like, copying and pasting, we make, like, tileable blueprints and all of that. But I think, yeah, I don't really want to just, like, kind of rush through, I guess, some of the more midpoints. But, yeah, the planets are a lot trickier than I thought they would be. But I've only been to one planet now that I think about it. But once we get automation, I think electric mining drills would definitely be the next thing to go for. And I need some coal, jeez. But I think, yeah, electric mining drills is definitely going to be a good thing. This is a lot of iron, which is good. You do need quite a bit of iron. Hopefully this can really get us going. But, like, the importance of those rocks is really significant. I guess we can work on our first couple furnace stacks and getting some, like, conveyor belts. I guess since I'm not doing anything, it doesn't hurt. So, base design-wise, I'm kind of thinking about how I'm going to do this. We've got our 4 pockets here. So, I'm kind of thinking that because of the way that these are positioned, putting our smelters down the bottom here might not be ideal. Or at the top, especially with the water patch there. So, I'm kind of thinking having I mean, it doesn't really matter. I want to get all of these resources to a central smelting area, wherever that's going to go. And then kind of bring that onto a bus. Because if we can plan for that, then that will make it very good for expansion. Because otherwise, yeah, it's really tricky to expand. So, I'm thinking we're going to have our miners here. Considering there's a lot of trees here, it's probably not ideal. So, I'm thinking that we build our... I'm actually going to put these little tags here so I remember. So, I'm thinking that our furnaces... So, the furnaces can go somewhere around here. And then the bus can go down the bottom. And yes, I am doing a bus design. Because of course I am. Do I want to go... Okay, here's the real question. Do you want to go south, east, or west? Which direction's kind of best? I think we might want to look around a little bit more, and then we can make that decision. We're a little bit of ways away from that. But if we can get the furnace stacks up, that would definitely be good. And yeah, so I'm just going to make I've never done this type of thing before, but considering the fact that we can't get electric mining drills yet, I think it would be probably a good idea. And I'm just going to build some inserters, and this can be for gears. This can be for that. And then we need a chest. Or 2. Just run a very janky power line. There we go. Just do this. Oop. And we can just do something like that. And then we can do this, and that will get us a couple science packs. I just realized that that's not actually going to work like how I thought it would. Because they don't work like the furnaces. Once they fill up, they're not going to keep producing. So I guess that doesn't really work like how I hoped. A quick solution would just be to move some of that and then put these inserters like that, and then that would work. And then there we go. So now we can make a little bit of science, and that can get that going. So we can kind of hopefully speed that up. We're going to want some mining drills on stone. So. But I'm thinking, do we need no, I think we should get electric mining drills first. I think that seems logical. Rather than trying to rush a main bus. Not a bus, smelting stack. And if you're wondering, yes, I have already forgotten the map. I think that will probably be good enough to make a decision. Alright, so I've explored the map a little bit here. And considering what I'm seeing, I feel like a eastward bus would probably be better. Because we've got cliffs here. West bus would work too, but my brain works... Oh, actually, we've got the iron pocket there. Or even a north... Maybe a northward bus. I'd never do a north bus. I never do a bus going north. But considering the way this is designed... South doesn't seem that good of an idea, but north doesn't actually seem too bad. I think I might want to think about it a little bit longer. Look at all these science packs. That's been effective. We can put another stack or two of copper in there. That is a lot of science packs. That was definitely a good idea. Getting all the science packs very early and very quickly. We probably should move the labs down to actually... Yeah, I'm going to do that actually. I'm just going to move the labs down to where we're actually doing the science production. I think what I can do here to speed it up a little bit is just get a bit of very, very basic automation. So we can have that there, that there, that there. We need another inserter. And we can put our copper in here and our iron in there. And then we just power all of this. And then that way we can get some circuits going. That's the wrong thing. We can get some circuits going and get some gears going. So that way hopefully handcrafting will be a little bit quicker. It's always good when you can speed up handcrafting because handcrafting is quite slow. We've got quite a lot of science going on here. This is a lot of science. So we can get electric mine drills. I think also military would be good. And then obviously logistics is definitely a must-have. Especially if we're going to be doing like a bus. We really need logistics. That will probably come before military. Because I think that's very important. And yeah, I'm going to go tear down this whole setup here. There we go. And we can look into getting some electric mining drills. We've got a lot of iron ore, so that might actually be... Might be a good idea here, just to put down a couple furnaces. Give them some iron ore. Put down an extra one. And some coal. Just to kind of get that out of the inventory. And then, yeah, one of the things that we're going to need to do is automate power. Especially when we're getting electric mining. We could just shove a stack of coal in there every now and then, but... We're definitely going to need some in the future. Actually, if we're doing furnace stacks, then yeah, we're definitely going to want that. Put a bit of extra iron in there. Yeah, this was definitely a good idea. I don't know why I haven't done this in the past. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that you gain from almost 1,000 hours of playing a single game. How many hours do I have? 978 hours. So, you know, I've played for quite a bit. People have definitely played for long. I've seen like 10,000 hours. And especially on games like Factorio. Boy, is Factorio addicting. So fresh dopamine straight to the brain. We can just hook up the power here. And... yeah, I don't really need to do that. But we're not going to get that much yet. And then just hook this up. And we can get some mining. So... right now we don't need the full fat 48 furnaces. I think that's probably a little bit excessive. But 24 furnaces will definitely be good. Though I am thinking that what we can do is... there's kind of two ways to do a Factorio system. Actually, I should probably do this with ghosts. You can do a kind of an outside... I guess I'll call it an outside-in design. We kind of do something like this. Or... right... you can do a inside-out design, where you have resources come in here, and then you do something like this. I've been someone who's done a inside-out design. These are not really technical terms, but usually I do this. But if I think about it logically, an outside-in design would probably be better, and there is a very quick and simple way to grab 2 resource lines, and get 2 belts out. And that is with 2 splitters. So if you have 2 splitters like this, and you feed your first resource in here, say coal, and then your second resource here, say iron ore, then you will get one belt coming out this way and one belt coming out this way. So it's a very compact way of getting 2 belts out of one belt and efficiently like merging them. So that's definitely probably what we will do. Another way we could do it was just, you know, doing the ordinary balancing method. But I think this will probably be better just because of efficiency wise. So if we want to make a furnace stack, we're going to need a iron belt, which we've got, and a coal belt. So we can just run the coal belt in elsewhere. And then we're going to need a line. Now, unfortunately, this cannot be centered, but we can probably center it on the iron if we want. To make it look a little nicer. And then furnaces on either side. We do need inserters, so I should get some of them. So we'll do something a little like this. And then something a little like that. So this will get us 2 belts. Actually, this won't work because we need to run the coal line down. Like, I know that it's faster if you do like a little like loop-de-loop, like if you do this, but not on the one furnace. But if you do, you know, this, it's faster. But I like to do this. In my opinion, it just looks good. So I shall continue doing it, and no one can stop me. So then all we need to do is just run a coal belt in anywhere, really. So we can just run it in like that. And there you go. That will be that. So we can just extend this out to a full fat 48 furnaces, and then have a entire smelting line, and that will be a very easy way to get a full belt of iron. We don't need that many furnaces now, but it doesn't really hurt to add them, and then later down the line we can, once we have enough iron coming in, then that will be very easy to just plug in the miners, and yeah. It's all about expandability. So that's 16, that's 32, so if we want 48, we just need another 8 on each side, and that is 42. And 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So this should be 48 furnaces. Yes. And then all we need to do is just run a whole line down here. And there we go. So this is a very long smelting setup, but it should work. Now the only downside to this design is, as you can see, this does not, we can't stack these next to each other. To fix that is very simple. You just need a splitter, the coal, feed that in like so, and then continue down the chain. And what do you know? You now have an expandable blueprint. So now we have a little weird spaceship looking thing. And now we can just do something like that. And wow, look at all this production capability. But that will come later. Right now we do not need that much. That can be plugged in very easily. And that can be left like that. So, we just need to get our electric mining drills, the coal, so we can run our coal down. And the electric mine, and because we need power, because right now our power's died. But we did get military. Optics, because that will look much better on the video. And then also probably want fast inserters. That will definitely be a good thing. One thing that I really, really love is the inserter capacity bonus, the second one. Because that means that you're not limited as much, but, you know, that will come much, much later. Get some more science packs. How much science do we have? We have a lot of science. How much science per minute we're doing? Only 4, so yeah, we can really upgrade our science per minute just by building a couple more labs. We also might want turrets, because turret spam, and science packs. So that should do. All we need to do is just get a metric butt ton of conveyor belts and hook up the coal. So we can just do 6 mining drills. That will probably be enough. And then, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't need to overthink it. Sometimes I just overthink things in Factorio. Super tree. I just need to put down a splitter and that's it. It's not too hard. So we just do output priority left. And the reason why you want an output priority is because when the coal is coming through, you want to make sure that the coal goes to the steam engines because those are a lot more important. Alright, so that should work. All I need is just power. There we go. And then I just need to run this up this way. And I'm going to be running it through like kilometers of forest, but okay, maybe I don't want to do that. That seems really annoying. We need more conveyor belts. It's always conveyor belts. You need so many conveyor belts. We are running out of resources here, which isn't good. So we really need to get that smelting stack going. Well, we should be able to get it. It should be able to work now. No, because I haven't plugged the power in. But once I plug the power in, it should be able to work. You can see what I'm talking about with the, it is just splitting off. And you can see that it's splitting off on the one line. And then once we get the coal coming in, it will do the same. It's prioritizing going up to the steam power, though there's no connection to the power. There we go. So, oh. Nope, still got a little bit more to go. Oh my goodness. There we go. So now we have our coal going up to our power, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then once this is filled up, we can run the furnaces. And for now, I'm just gonna use the copious amounts of coal that I have to run the furnaces, and then hopefully there'll be enough coal coming down. We should be able to move all of this to where the iron is. Well, except for research production, because we need copper for that. But we should just be able to move this over and get a basic little mall going. It's just going to be temporary. It's not going to be permanent. I just want a little mall so that we don't have to worry about crafting conveyor belts and other things. There we go. So now we have conveyor belts automated. We can get like 2 stacks of them. And that will just make everything faster. Oh, and I also want the gears automated. We could just keep a stack of them. There we go. It's nothing fancy, and it's only temporary, but it will do the job, and we can have a bunch of conveyor belts, especially since we're going to need a lot of them to run all of this material from here to like down to where the bus is going to be. But yeah, we should be able to just copy and paste this for the other resources, which will be good. What I kind of plan to do here, something like that. That way it's all aligned. And if I had robots, this would be convenient, but I don't have robots, so I'm just going to have to sit here and chop trees for like 30 minutes. It seems it's a little bit silly to be running the belts like this, but yeah, it's a little bit silly doing this rather than just splitting it off, but I just want to make sure everything's aligned and that we can like turn this into 2 belts of copper or 4 belts of copper or 18 belts of iron. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but it's, you know, it's the fact that we have the room to do something like that, and it's all going to be copy and pasteable and very easy to do, and we don't have to think about it too much, and that's kind of the idea that I have. But anyway, we got a lot of conveyor belts now. And now all we need to do is just run the copper down, which might be a little bit tricky. Why do I keep running my conveyor belts through the trees? I love that the changes that they've made to the map view is so much better. But yeah, the changes that they made to the map view is so good. Much better than it was in the past. It's only some minor little things that they've done, but it really feels like it's just a lot better. Kind of the weird thing about like quality of life stuff. It's not really that major, but it really makes a difference. And there we go. So now we should have copper. And we shouldn't have to worry about that either. So yeah, we've got a... Oh, and I'm going to switch this over to an electric mining drill, so you don't have to think about it. And the next step, I think, will probably be making a mall, because the malls are always a must-have item. But yeah, we should be able to run the copper down. And I'm just going to run it along this way, and then run it down. And I'm thinking that we're going to have 4 belts of iron and 4 belts of copper, because I found that that seems to work very well for much later in the game. And then later down the line, we can upgrade to red belts. Yeah, it seems like 4 belts works well. And you don't have to upgrade to red belts very, very early on. You can still go with the yellow belts for quite a while. Which I think is a good thing, because it means that you always have room for a lot of expandability if you don't have to upgrade very early. And also because I'm lazy and I don't feel like automating red belts. There we go. Power pole situation is a bit of a mess. So yeah, now we have both copper and iron. And we can have them run down here. And that can run into our bus. And for now, I'm just going to run these all the way down. I guess there's no reason why we can't just do the bus here and then go west. Seems actually quite logical. And then, yeah, as soon as we get a bus, we can make a mall. We can get some basic stuff. We can work on research. And we can kind of work through the very basics to the very end. This is going to be the bus. It's going to be a 4 lane for copper, 4 lane for iron, maybe 2 lanes for steel, or maybe less, and then 1 lane of a shared stone brick copper. And I plan to do 60 per minute science, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But this should allow for plenty of expansion later down the line. And yeah, the reason why I'm doing a 2 block spacing, if no one's ever seen a bus before, I'm just going to give a quick explanation. Basically, it's just a bunch of lines of conveyors. And then you basically do, there's many kind of types of buses. The one I do is kind of this, I say types. There's kind of many ways you can space a bus out. You could do like something like this, or you could do, you know, this or whatever. It's kind of whatever you want to prioritize. I'm doing basing off the distance of an underground belt. So if you look at a distance, it says max length of 5, which means it can go under 4 tiles. You can see it goes green there, which means that it's hit its limit, and it can't go any further. So instead of building a spaghetti nightmare, you can just use a splitter. You can just split off your iron plates, like so. And then for copper, rather than doing some nonsense, and, you know, you don't need to split any of this, because they are 4 tiles, you can just have a splitter, right, like so. And then you can just run your conveyor belt over the top of the bus, like so. And you can see this is the maximum length. And that means that you can run all your resources very easily into their little area. So we should be able to move this little setup, this little temporary mall, into a more proper location. And we can change these power poles. The greatness of buses, you can just split off the resources, and yeah, you could do it based off different undergrounds have different lengths. So for example, a fast underground has 7 lengths, so you can have a bus that is 6 width, and you can have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can go from here, you can go under 6 belts. But here I'm doing 4 because that's just the maximum length of yellow belts. So yeah, this is a little mall, and as you can see, we are just making some splitters, undergrounds, and other, you know, important doodads that you would need. And I'm just going to limit these chests. Make sure you always limit your chests when you're making a mall, because you don't want to waste resources. Malls are always great. Never underestimate a mall. I've made the mistake in the past of not building malls until much later in the game and handcrafting, and handcrafting is just not the way you want to go. You really want a mall. That's if I can get any advice to anyone, it's build a mall in Factorio. I don't care if you don't own Factorio, buy Factorio and build a mall, okay? That's my advice, okay? Anyway, so we now have pretty much all the basic components that you could really need. Obviously, later down the line, we can expand this. For example, assembly machines is one of the first things that come to my mind as one of the things that we're probably going to need. This just makes some gears and some circuits, some conveyor belts, some undergrounds, and finally some splitters, which I did not set up properly because I am dumb. But hopefully, we shouldn't have to handcraft nearly as much anymore. Obviously, I'm still going to handcraft some things like, you know, my steam engines and probably electric mining drills for a while. But the more that we add to the mall, the better. And this is just kind of the basic stuff that you kind of would want in the mall. Anyway, so if you liked the video, hit that like button. You like my videos, subscribe. So yeah, bye.